All right, so here today we are going to talk about long-term storage of ammunition. Now, these are the best practices from the industry and from the military from around the world have been compiled, and we're going to talk about those here today. Really, it comes down to the three main considerations, which is heat, moisture, and chemicals. So heat is probably one of the biggest destructive factors of ammunition. Right now, we're out in the hot Florida sun. Ammunition does not like to be hot. Over time, this will degrade the velocity of the round. It can affect the casing and many other ways as well, degrade the quality of the ammunition. Now, when I say moisture, that can be moisture in the air in the form of humidity, or actually when water gets inside of the containment or inside the container, obviously you can get pitting and rust and so forth. Now, one of the third one we mentioned, which is chemicals, which is not one that's thought about a lot, but that can be even the oils off of your fingers or oil that you might spray on the round thinking that it will help keep it in good shape longer. We're going to talk more at length about that a little bit later. But anytime these foreign chemicals get on the ammunition and then they're stored for a long period of time, this can break down and start the rusting even sooner than it normally would. So first, let's talk about short-term storage. What do we mean by that? Well, normally short-term storage is anywhere from 1 to 2 years. Usually this is when we're just going to buy some ammo, keep it on the shelf, and maybe shoot it up in a little bit. Well, most people would agree that if it's going to be short-term, 1 to 2 years, really keeping the ammunition in its original box, as long as it's in a climate-controlled environment where humidity and temperature is controlled, by and large, you're not going to have any problem at all in a short-term situation with just keeping your ammunition in its original box. All right, so now let's define and talk about long-term storage. This is 3 to 20 years on out. Now, the best thing that we can suggest to you from our own experience and research shows that these high-quality metal ammunition cans are the way to go. Now, if you want to go into more detail about the difference between plastic and these metal cans, we did a different video on that, so see the link here that's shown on the screen. Now, in my last statement, I mentioned that we recommend a new metal ammo can. I wanted to demonstrate to you here, we have what we would call a grade 1 used ammo can. I bought this at an Army surplus here in my local area. And one of the things that you have to be really careful of with these used cans is the first thing that usually goes are the rubber gasket that goes around the outside of the lid that seals off the container from the lid, making it airtight and moisture tight. As we discussed, moisture is the #1 enemy to long-term storage and cause all kind of trouble. So as we evaluate old cans versus new cans, we're going to see in a moment that there's really not that big of a difference in cost. And if you're going to spend thousands of dollars putting your prized ammo in these cans, you don't want to go in 10 years just to find that investment that you made has spoiled because of a bad seal. All right, so let's just talk about the cost of an old can versus a new can specifically. I actually left the tag on here. I bought this used can at my Army surplus store over down the street, and I left the tag on because it says $21.95. So that's what these used cans are going for in my neck of the woods. Now, this brand new metal ammo can from Solid Tactical on Amazon.com costs only $29.95. Now, if you follow the link in the description of the video, there's a place where you can actually get a coupon for 10% off and free 2-day shipping. So when you take into consideration $29 minus 10%, versus this used one for $21.95, now all of a sudden you see that it makes no sense to risk using these older cans. So considering this, if you think about one of these 50 caliber ammo boxes, if you were to fill it to the top with 223s, you can fit between 1,000 and 1,200 rounds inside of here. Now, even at a good price of 25 cents a round, you're talking around $300 worth of ammo that you're going to put inside of this container. Now at that rate, it doesn't really make much sense to save $10 and run the risk of losing your initial investment over a long-term storage situation. So another best practice is to take these silicone packets and place them inside of the container with the ammunition before sealing it up nice and airtight. What this does is draw all of the moisture out of the air. So another good habit to get into is when you have your ammunition and you're about to pour it into your storage container, open it and pour it in here without touching the cartridge, because oil from your fingertips is a natural corrosive. It can actually jumpstart the process of breaking down the metal. So a good habit to get into is labeling your ammunition containers. Always put the caliber and the date. Now you can use painter's tape and a Sharpie like I've done here. It's the poor man's way. Or they actually have these really handy dandy magnetic labels that you can stick right on top of your can. Either way, make sure you got a caliber and a date. This allows you to make sure that you shoot the oldest ammunition first, always keeping in mind freshness. Make sure to conduct a yearly test of your ammunition, making sure that it's maintaining its freshness and its airtight seal. When you do test it, try to test it during a dry time of the year, usually the winter time when the humidity is lower. When you open it up to test it, it's probably a good time to throw in some more silicone packets. Vacuum sealing is also a popular technique. That is putting the ammunition inside of a vacuum sealed packet and then putting it inside the container. This is also thought to add many, many years of viability to the ammunition. So the question is asked is, how long will ammunition stay good inside of these metal containers? And we have reports going back as long as 50 and 60 years and more, as long as the ammunition is stored correctly, making sure that the heat, the moisture, and there is no chemicals on the ammunition before it goes into the container. So, I would say you could feel comfortable as long as you control all of those elements. You can rest assured that your ammunition is going to be good. So I hope this video has been helpful for you and has answered the questions that you have for long-term storage. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, just put them in the comments below. Also keep in mind that if you're interested in purchasing one of these high-quality, American-made metal ammunition cans, follow the link in the description of this video for a 10% off coupon from Solid Tactical, and you'll also get free 2-day shipping. Thanks again.